When mentioning the name Sam Heughan, people often immediately think of the image of the strong hero Jamie Fraser in the famous series Outlander, a resilient, brave warrior always fighting with all his might to protect the people he loves. But real life is not a long movie. And sometimes heroes also fall not because of enemies, but because of their own health. The shock at the end of July 2025. At the end of July 2025, the entire fan community was shocked when shocking news spread. Sam Heughan was hospitalized in a state of severe exhaustion. This was hard to believe because just a few weeks ago, Sam was radiantly appearing at the San Diego Comic-Con 2025 event, happily taking pictures with fans as if nothing had happened. In fact, Sam was admitted to a private hospital on the outskirts of London in a state of physical and mental exhaustion. According to his representative, the 45-year-old actor has been working almost non-stop for the past 10 months, filming Outlander, working on a new film project, running his own whiskey brand. For the first 4 days, Sam was kept in complete isolation to avoid contact with the media. But on the 5th day, a photo of him secretly taken in the hospital hallway went viral on social media. Sam lying motionless on the bed, skinny and haggarded with an IV still in his hand. The letter that made millions speechless. Just a few hours later, Sam's official Instagram account posted a photo, a handwritten letter shared by his team with a brief caption. "I want to say this." The letter made millions of hearts stop. "I never thought I would write these lines, but sometimes your body forces you to stop and listen. For years, I lived in a whirlwind of passion and expectation from the audience, from the industry, from myself. But I forgot one important thing: taking care of myself. For the first time in many years, I had to face the truth. I could no longer ignore my health. Lying alone with the sound of the IV machine, I asked myself, have I lived enough? Have I loved enough? And I realized I'm learning to stop, learning to rest without feeling guilty." A wave of love from colleagues and fans. Soon after, close friends and colleagues spoke out in unison. Katrina Belf, Sam's longtime co-star, wrote on Twitter, "I've told him many times, Sam, take a break. But now reading that letter, I know he really listened. I'm so proud of him." Longtime friend Jamie Dornan also shared emotionally, "Sam is the strongest person I know, but H is also very vulnerable because he always puts others before himself. Now it's time for us to protect him." The Pray for Sam Heughan quickly climbed to the top of global trends in just 12 hours. Fans from all over shared memorable moments of Sam, from legendary scenes, charity work to inspirational interviews, recovery days, and promises to return. On the 10th day, Sam's primary care physician officially announced that his condition had stabilized, but he needed at least 2 months to recover mentally. Sam declined all invitations to attend events, including the premiere of a new film. He chose to temporarily retreat to the peaceful countryside of Scotland, a place that was associated with his childhood and soul. No stage lights, no showbiz noise, just Sam, nature and silence. On his personal page, Sam wrote, "I promise to return, but it's not that Sam is exhausted. It's that Sam is more balanced, knows how to listen." Lying on the hospital bed, Sam whispered, "I used to think I was invincible. Training for hours, filming in the bitter cold of Scotland, traveling to dozens of countries every month. But everybody has its limits, and mine has been reached." A sharp pain in the lower abdomen, thought to be just a muscle strain, was a red flag. The doctor walked in, his eyes serious, and said bluntly, "You need to rest. Not for a few days, maybe for a few months." Sam sighed, looking out the window, the rows of trees swaying in the wind. He thought about his unfinished plans. The final season of Outlander, his first independent film, the charity trips he had cherished. But now everything was forced to stop. The biggest fear, not the disease. What scares me most is not the disease. It's the silence that lasts when I'm alone. In that silence, Sam faced an invisible fear. If I disappear from this noisy world, will I still have value? He realized throughout his career he has always pleased others, the audience, directors, media, but forgot the reason why he loved his job in the first place. Love, gratitude, and true happiness. In the loneliest days, what touched Sam the most was the affection from fans. Hundreds of thousands of messages, handwritten letters, drawings, fresh flowers poured in from everywhere. Messages: "Get well soon, Sam, the world needs you." He choked up. "I used to think I was just an actor. But those lines reminded me inspirational people have a bigger responsibility. I'm not just Jamie Fraser. I'm Sam. And I want to live more authentically. Not just to play the role of a hero, but to become a real inspiration." Katrina and the power of friendship. A name that always appears in this journey is Katrina Balfe. She is not only a co-star, she is a confidant. She calls me every day, sending me recordings of the scene that day or excerpts from the book we both love. Sometimes it's soft music to help me sleep. Sam smiles, her eyes shining. "It's in my weakest moments that I feel the power of love the most, even without calling it by name." Sam is really back. Not perfect, but sincere. Sam promises to come back, but not to continue the old routine, but to live slower, more selectively, and put health first. Health is the most precious asset. Don't trade it, even for a dream. At the end of the video, Sam smiles. Not the dazzling smile on the red carpet, but the smile of a man who has fallen and is getting back up. Strong, deep, and hopeful. "Don't worry about me, I will be back, but this time as the real Sam Heughan. Strong not just because of my body but because I have learned to love myself even in my most fragile moments." End of video. Memorable image, pearl-touching background music. And the fans can only continue to pray for Sam, not only to get well soon but for that strong and kind heart to continue to shine in its own unique way. 2 weeks after being admitted to the hospital, Sam was officially cleared by his doctor to move to a quiet retreat on the edge of Scotland. A place with ancient pine forests, rolling meadows, and the healing sounds of nature that no other medium could replace. He lives in a small wooden house, completely isolated from social media, phones and stage lights. For the first time in decades, I can hear the birds in the morning without rushing to get up because of a schedule. I can slow down and learn to breathe like a normal person. Rewriting my life, the first diary pages. In that quiet place, Sam began something he had never done before. Writing a diary every day. Not to publish, not to inspire anyone, but to listen to himself. I write about the fears I once kept hidden, about the expectations I imposed on myself, about the childhood dreams I had forgotten in the spotlight. One of the first pages reads, "If I were no longer an actor, would I still be happy?" And then he answers, "Yes, if I were still myself." A small talk, a big change. On a special occasion, Sam was invited to speak to a group of cancer patients at a medical center where many people had been inspired by him. Sam appeared simply, no suit, no lights, just a man who had fallen, stood up, and now wanted to give something real. "You know what? There was a time when I thought if I couldn't stand in front of the camera, I was nothing. But actually, I was a husband, a friend, a man who knew pain and knew how to recover." The applause was not overwhelming, but warm. A woman who has been fighting cancer for 6 years burst into tears and said, "I live on because of your monologues in Outlander. I live stronger now because of your honest silence today." The quiet comeback, Sam's rebirth. 3 months later, Sam officially returned to social media. Not with a new movie trailer, not with a magazine photo, but with a simple self-filmed video against the backdrop of Scottish nature, gentle wind, and soft natural light. He said, "Hello everyone. I'm back, but this time, I'm not trying to be anyone. I just want to be Sam. And if you're tired, stop. If you're in pain, share. If you need a break, have the courage to rest." There was no grandiose soundtrack, just the truth. And millions of people watched, cried, felt. Life sometimes does not warn us when we have to stop. And perhaps no one expected that a person like Sam Heughan, strong, always shining in the spotlight, would sometimes collapse because of the pressure he once considered a motivation. But there is one thing that Sam's story reminds us of. No one is born a superhero. Even heroes need to rest, need to love themselves. Sam bravely faced what many people fear the most, their own fragility. And it was in his weakest moments that he found the most precious thing that the halo sometimes obscures: truth, love, and gratitude. That journey is not just the recovery of a star, but the journey of rebirth of a human being. From the indomitable Jamie Fraser in the movie to the real Sam Heughan in real life who dares to say, "I'm not perfect, but I'm learning to love that imperfection." And maybe if we, you and I, also have the courage to look back at ourselves, dare to listen to our hearts in quiet moments, we will realize we don't need to be perfect to be valuable. So, if you're tired, remember Sam's words: stop, breathe, and love yourself, even when you're at your weakest. We're not superheroes, but we can absolutely be kind to ourselves. And sometimes that's the most heroic thing we can do. Thank you for listening to Sam Hughes' story. If you relate, share this video as a gift to anyone who needs a reminder that you don't have to be strong all the time. You just have to love life. The story you just heard may be a whisper from the tabloids. Or it may be fiction, a script written from the imagination inspired by the image of a famous man, once loved by millions of hearts. But whether it is true or not, the message remains the same. We, even celebrities, are human, and all humans need rest, love and healing. Whether Sam Heughan is healthy or just a character in a fictional story, let us always pray for him. May he be peaceful, balanced, and continue to shine with his strong and kind heart. And if you're listening to this story, maybe out of curiosity because you love Sam or because you see yourself in the words, let this be a little message. Listen to yourself, love yourself, and don't be afraid to be vulnerable, because sometimes vulnerability is the beginning of true strength. Thank you for reading this story. Don't forget to share if you think someone needs healing today. And always pray for Sam Heughan, whether in real life or in our beautiful dreams. Perhaps Sam's journey is not just about exhaustion, illness, or even recovery. It is about a man who dared to pause, dared to face his own fragility, and dared to begin again. Whether he returns to the screen tomorrow, a year later, or never at all, is no longer the point. What matters is that he has found a new way to live, with balance, with honesty, with love. And maybe, somewhere right now, Sam is still writing in his diary, still listening to the rustle of the Scottish wind, still asking himself the same question we all carry deep inside: have I lived enough? Have I loved enough?